Hey everyone, and welcome. If you've ever looked at the huge variety of courses and colleges in Malaysia and thought, wow, this is a lot, then you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the one thing that makes sense of it all, the Malaysian Qualifications Framework, or as you'll hear it called, the MQF. Let's dive in.
So let's start with a really common question. What's the real difference between a diploma and a degree? Or when you see something is a level 6 qualification, what does that actually mean for your career? It's a good question because it gets to the heart of a bigger issue. How do we know that a qualification from one place is just as good as a qualification from somewhere else?
Well, before we had a unified system, the whole education scene was kind of a giant puzzle. You had all these different pieces: academic degrees, vocational training, skills certificates, but no one had the box top to see how they all fit together. And as you can imagine, that created some real challenges.
And this right here gets to the core of the problem. We were seeing serious issues, like graduates struggling to find jobs. Why? Well, often there was a huge mismatch between the skills they were learning and what companies were actually looking for. Career paths felt confusing, and there was a huge cry for skills that made you, employable. Plus, without a single standard, quality was all over the place. Someone had to step in and connect all these dots.
And that's exactly where the solution comes into the picture. To sort out the confusion and bring a new level of trust and quality to the system, Malaysia developed one single unifying framework. So let's officially meet the MQF.
So what is it, really? Simply put, the MQF is the official rulebook for every single qualification offered in Malaysia. Think of it as the ultimate quality standard that says exactly what a certificate, a diploma, or a degree should give you as a student. It ensures everything is consistent and creates a really clear road for your entire learning journey. And what this all boils down to for you, whether you're a student, a parent, or an employer, is trust. It's about having confidence. Confidence that a qualification is legit, that it has met a high national standard, and that it's going to be recognized, not just here in Malaysia, but around the world. It basically just turns all that confusion into clarity.
Okay, so let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The easiest way to think about the MQF is like a ladder with 8 rungs or levels. This is so incredibly helpful because it gives you a clear map of how you can progress, right from the very first step of your education up to the absolute highest level of academic achievement.
And here is that ladder in action. It all starts at the bottom with certificates at levels 1, 2, and 3. These build your core skills. Then you step up to level 4, which is your diploma, and level 5, the advanced diploma for more focused learning. Level 6 is that bachelor's degree, which is kind of the standard for most professional jobs. And if you want to keep climbing, you've got the master's at level 7, and the very top, the doctorate or PhD at level 8. It's a super clear step-by-step path. But you might be asking, how do you measure the work you put in at each level? Well, the MQF uses a credit system. A credit is basically a way to measure the total amount of learning you're doing: classes, labs, assignments, the whole deal. So for example, a diploma at level 4 needs at least 90 credits to graduate. A bachelor's degree, that's 120. A master's by coursework is 40. This makes sure the amount of effort is standardized no matter where you study. Okay, so we've got levels, we've got credits, but the MQF is so much more than just ticking boxes. This is where it gets really interesting. It's not just about what you know in your head, it's about what you can actually do with that knowledge. Let's break down how it defines the real skills you walk away with. Every single qualification that's approved under the MQF is built on these 5 key areas, which are officially called learning outcome clusters. This is the secret sauce that makes sure every graduate is a well-rounded person. It's not just about book smarts, it's about your thinking skills, practical job skills, personal growth, and of course, being a good, ethical professional. Let's quickly go through them. First up is knowledge and understanding. Pretty straightforward, right? This is your foundation. It's the facts, the theories, the core information of whatever it is you're studying. This is the what you know. Next, cognitive skills. This is all about what you do with that knowledge. It's your brain power in action. Can you think critically? Can you look at a problem from all sides and come up with a smart solution? That's what this is about. This is the how you think. Now, functional work skills are so important. Honestly, this is the stuff that gets you hired. We're talking about the hands-on, practical skills you need to do a job. Things like communication, teamwork, leadership, and being good with technology. These are your job-ready skills. Then there is personal and entrepreneurial skills. In the world we live in today, this is absolutely crucial. This is about your ability to keep learning, to adapt when things change, and maybe even to spot new opportunities and create something yourself. This is how you stay future-proof. And finally, we have ethics and professionalism. This is huge. It ensures that graduates aren't just skilled, but also responsible. It's about acting with integrity, having a strong moral compass, and just being a good professional and a good citizen. It's about doing the right thing. So we have this fantastic framework with levels, credits, and all these learning outcomes. But who's checking the homework? Who makes sure that all the colleges and universities are actually following the rules? Well, that brings us to the Quality Guarantee. Meet the National Gatekeeper of Quality, the Malaysian Qualifications Agency, or MQA. This isn't just a committee. It's a powerful body created by law. Their entire job is to implement the MQF and to make absolutely sure every single program out there meets the high standards that have been set. And they have a really tough 3-stage process to do it. First, a new program has to get provisional accreditation even before it can open its doors to students. Then, once it's up and running, it has to go through a super detailed evaluation to get full accreditation. And it doesn't stop there. At least once every 5 years, they come back for a compliance evaluation to make sure the quality is still top-notch and always improving. And just to be clear, this isn't just a suggestion. It's the law. The MQA Act of 2007 is the legal document that gives this whole system its teeth. It states right there in black and white that the MQA is responsible for the framework. That's what gives it real power.
So let's bring it all home. What's the big takeaway here? Think of it like this. Before the MQF, you had confusion and uncertainty. Now, you have clarity and confidence. Before, you had inconsistent quality. Now you have a solid national standard of quality. Before, career paths were foggy. Now you have clear pathways for a lifetime of learning.
At the end of the day, the MQF is so much more than just some government policy. For you, it's a map. It's a reliable guide that empowers you to navigate your education with confidence and build the successful career you've always wanted. So now you understand the map that lays out your entire educational journey. The path is clearer than it's ever been. The only real question left is, where do you want to go next?